Hey, what's up everybody out there? Welcome back to the channel, Joshua and Elissa. So we got a movie review for you. And as you can see, I've been well, I don't know if you can see, but I've been kind of growing out my facial hair a little bit. This is for those of you that's commented that said that you rather see me with a mustache. I don't know why, but but anyway, I've been kind of not shaving, so we'll see how it all turns out.
How long that lasts.
How long that lasts and how long it, or however it progresses, whatever. And anyway, got a movie review for you. So we watched The Equalizer 2. Really good movie. Really solid movie, solid sequel. I liked it. I really liked it.
That's good.
I didn't think it was worse than the first one, but I didn't think it was as good. It's kind of somewhere in between. I think it's maybe equal to, but the thing that got me was it didn't seem like there was as much hand-to-hand combat in this one.
It's kind of a lot of stealth.
Yeah, it was more crouching around, hiding type stuff, and more kind of like you'd expect, I guess, from a normal spy CIA movie.
Yeah.
Type of thing, but not really so much hand-to-hand combat. Not really like there was in the first Equalizer, and. So I think that, and I'm just going to go out here on a limb, I think that John Wick has The Equalizer 2 beat.
Oh, easily.
A little bit, because there's just
a
lot more hand-to-hand combat. And that's with these films really what I like to see.
Yeah.
Is the hand-to-hand combat, all the fighting, choreography, stuff like that. However, Denzel Washington...
Always awesome.
You put him in a movie, it doesn't matter what it is, and it's good. Yeah. To me, I mean, it's always good. His acting's always superb. He's always completely professional. I'm a huge fan, huge Denzel Washington fan, and I liked The Equalizer 2. I really did. I give it a thumbs up. I do recommend. If you haven't seen it, definitely see it. It is definitely a good movie. And there's some really good feel-good parts in the movie that just kind of make you feel warm and fuzzy all over, and make you feel kind of good about this guy's character that he plays. But as far as action, there was a ton of action in it, but by kind of the end, you kind of feel like I didn't really see much action. And I think that's because there wasn't as much hand-to-hand combat.
Yeah.
It was more, I think it was more gunplay.
There was a lot more gunplay
than anything.
There was just a lot more like stealth.
Yeah.
Type
and
action, which is different.
My favorite scene from the first movie is when he goes into that club that the Russians own.
Right in the beginning.
Right in the beginning. And he just looks at him and he's like 16 seconds. And then he proceeds to take it out. But my favorite part of that entire scene is when he just stabs that guy like 3 times seamlessly. It's just a very seamless, fluid motion. And I really thought that part was really cool in the movie. Of course, I'm not promoting violence, but these are violent films.
They are.
I
think anybody that watches them, though, I mean, you kind of go into it expecting that's the kind of movie
it's an action film. Yeah. It's going to have a certain level of violence, and I'm a big action guy. I love action films. So, yeah, I have to say I enjoyed it, but I think it was lacking in some of the hand-to-hand combat. I would have liked to see more hand-to-hand combat. And the story was kind of loose and kind of all over the place.
Yeah, it was kind of all over the place.
It wasn't... like from the beginning of the first one, it kind of starts on a specific story for a specific person that he's helping.
Right.
And through this movie, it's kind of like just a plethora of people that he's helping out. And then it ends up being a specific person, which I kind of felt like the storyline of it was a bit weak. Because I would have liked to see more of what was in the first movie. This is a classic case of I wanted the same movie in a different package. Yeah, essentially is I think what my major issue with it was, but not a bad film, and definitely would watch it again.
Yeah.
Definitely glad that we bought it. I would recommend it. I would probably give it 3.5.
2.5.
3.5, maybe 4 stars out of 5.
Yeah.
You know, because like I said, it's really not a bad film. It's just there is not as much hand-to-hand combat. There is still a ton of action, but it's mostly like gunplay. And then the story I felt was kind of weak in parts. But other than that, it was the acting was great. You know, is that the same guy from that movie with Johnny Depp where he's a gangster? Is that the same guy?
Is who the same guy?
The bad guy.
In the second one?
Yeah.
I don't know.
You know, the CIA or the FBI agent that was feeding Depp information. I can't remember it was Black something, the name of that movie.
Black Mass?
Black Mass, yeah.
I don't know.
Is that the same guy?
I know he was in The Kingsman.
As who?
The Golden Circle.
Okay, so not the same guy. Okay, so well, I don't want to. There's a guy in the movie that's was also in Kingsman 2 as Agent Whiskey. If you have seen Kingsman, if not, if you haven't seen Kingsman, go see that.
Yeah, both of them.
Both of them. They're really great movies. But
they're violent. But they're funny.
Yeah, they're very violent, but they're funny. But yeah, I enjoyed The Equalizer too. I'm glad that I got to see it.
It was good.
So I love anything Denzel Washington. I already said that, but I'm gonna say it again because I just.
Were you comparing The Equalizer to John Wick? Was that what you were doing?
Not really.
Because John Wick wins hands down.
I noticed that in the John Wick movies, there's a lot more hand-to-hand fighting.
Yeah.
And I kind of expect, because there was so much in the first Equalizer, I kind of expected more of that. That's what my expectations were. And so, but it just, I didn't feel like it was there. There's more hand-to-hand combat in John Wick. And I'm really excited because John Wick 3 is coming out.
I really like the John Wick movies.
Yeah, and so, I'm a huge Keanu Reeves fan too.
Yeah.
And apparently they're making a new Matrix movie.
Yes.
Still don't know if Keanu Reeves is going to be involved in that, but that'd be exciting. Hopefully he comes back as Neo. Preferably not the same Neo because we watched him die, but like just another Neo. Another the one. Yeah, there has been multiple.
Yeah, because that's the way the story goes. There's been thousands of them.
Yeah, but really, as far as storyline and plot is concerned, the only thing that I really can see them doing is just the same series of movies over, because there's really nothing left there to. I mean, I guess they could invent a new threat, but
sewed that all up.
Yeah, but I don't see how. But it'd be interesting to see how all that unfolds and what they're planning for that movie. That is, I've heard that is confirmed. They are making another Matrix, a fourth Matrix movie. So I'm very interested and seeing what all goes down with that.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah. Some other movies that are coming out that I'm really excited about. Joker is probably my all-time pick. Number one movie I want to see this year with Joaquin Phoenix. It's going to be a DC movie. It's not going to necessarily be the origin story of the Joker, but it's going to be another origin story. And what I mean by that is that we already have so many origin stories of the Joker. And there for a long time, DC was, I think, really wanting to pin it down and say, okay, this is how this character originated. And they've had a really rough time, I think, doing that because the character is so iconic. And if for those Batman fans out there that don't know, the Joker character is actually based on an old black and white silent film called The Man Who Laughs. So his entire look is actually based upon that character in that silent film, and you can look that up on YouTube.
Isn't that
actually
Chaplin?
It might be a Chaplin film.
It was a Chaplin.
I know that
I don't know.
they did use Charlie Chaplin as part of the inspiration for the character.
Oh, maybe that's why I was.
Because it's kind of a mix of different people. But the look that they were really going for with the Joker is from The Man Who Laughs, which is a silent film made way back, probably.
Well, that would have been the 20s. Or
I was gonna say
that,
1920s. Yeah.
Early 19.
Yeah, I think it was 20s actually. May have been even before the 20s. I'm not sure, but I know that you can actually look that film up on YouTube and watch it. Yeah.
Look at the whole film.
Yeah, cool. And I don't know. I don't know if they have the whole film. I've seen clips of it on YouTube, so maybe that's what it is. But you can definitely look up clips which are from the film, which are really important clips, and you really get to see his face, and that was their inspiration for the character, and I think that's kind of awesome. Just having that tidbit of knowledge makes you a better fan.
Yeah.
So if you didn't know that, check that out. I'm super excited for this film because I really, as far as the previews go, I really so far like the way that Joaquin Phoenix is playing this character, because I really do feel like it's a character that basically is at his wit's end. He's tried to be normal in society and notices that it just keeps getting worse and worse and worse until finally he just says to hell with it and goes nuts himself and becomes the iconic Joker. And I really like that idea. I think that DC should nail that down as the official origin story, and that's just my opinion, but I'm really interested in seeing what Joaquin does with the role, because it's the movie. Just if you haven't seen the trailer for this thing, it's called Joker with Joaquin Phoenix. Look it up on YouTube. You can see the trailer. They've got a full trailer now for the film, and it looks really, really good.
It does.
So it is set in 1970s Gotham, and it is kind of like a deal where Bruce Wayne is actually a child, and so the Joker is quite a bit older than Batman, but in several different comic book series of Batman, the Joker is actually much older. He's a much older guy, but I kind of really like where they've gone with this.
Yeah.
So we'll see if it's a good movie or not. When it comes out, we will watch that and we'll review it. But it's gonna be a while for that one.
Yeah, it's not even in theaters.
It's not even in theaters. They're probably not even done shooting. So We got some more movie reviews coming up. We're going to be watching Red Sparrow. We're going to be watching The House with the Clock in His Walls. I'm flipping everybody off.
That's rude.
I can't believe I did that.
So rude.
I apologize. I didn't mean to do that. We're going to be watching Mission Impossible Fallout, and we're going to be checking out the new Robin Hood. And for those of you that don't know, the new Robin Hood is played by the main character in The Kingsman, if you've seen The Kingsman. If you haven't seen The Kingsman, you should see The Kingsman. It's really, really funny couple of movies, and they're really good. So I don't know if Robin Hood's going to be good. I'm just going to say this. The last Robin Hood movies they've made have been terrible.
Terrible.
Of course, I don't really picture, nor do I accept Russell Crowe as Robin Hood. Now, nothing against Russell Crowe. I like Russell Crowe. I'm a big Russell Crowe fan. But I didn't like him as Robin Hood. Not that his acting was bad, but the writing was ridiculous.
Was really bad.
Yeah, and they went too far back to give him too much of a beginning, and it didn't make any sense, and it was just not Robin Hood. It was like, what is this? It was just like a medieval movie. It was just like a movie set in the Middle Ages.
It was really weird because part of it was in retrospect, but you couldn't, like, differentiate that, you know?
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yeah, and I think they actually made 2 of them.
Did they?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I don't think we saw the second one, but we saw the first one. And the first one was like...
The first one was super weird.
It was so bad that we were like, no, we're not. We're done with Robin Hood.
Yeah.
Our favorite Robin Hood movie is... Probably everybody's going to laugh, but... and a lot of people hated this movie, but it's the Robin Hood portrayal that Kevin Costner did.
Well, it was like the one that I grew up with.
Yeah. And I thought for a full-scale movie, it was superb. Of course, still to date, my all-time favorite Robin Hood movie is the animated...
Where they were foxes?
Yeah.
That was the best.
The fox was Robin
That was the best Robin Hood ever.
That's what I grew up with. That's what I grew up with.
Yeah.
To me, that's who Robin Hood was. And so, but for a live-action movie, I thought Costner's version was really good.
Yeah.
Really, really good. I could have done without Christian Slater in that movie.
I think everybody probably could have.
But, not that Christian Slater's bad. No. Just, I didn't really feel like he was a necessary character.
Yeah.
But what do you think? What are your thoughts on what we've been talking about and the Equalizer 2, and just give us your thoughts on some of these films.
The Equalizer 2 kept losing my interest. I don't know if that's because I only got 4 hours of sleep last night, but I mean it was good.
Twist ending. Because you only got 4 hours of sleep.
Yeah, I am so tired. But it was a good movie, but honestly, I kept getting super distracted and missing parts of it because of that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm sure that's just my own fault, but I did feel like the writing on it was a little bit loose. Like their story seemed a little odd to me.
I don't know, because there were parts in it that lost my attention.
Did it?
Yeah. And while we were watching it, I was having a hard time, and I was like, okay, what?
Yeah, what's
going on? So I don't think that's lack of sleep. I think that's
was just the
movie. I just think that there were some slow parts in between that just weren't that interesting. What else?
That's really all about, as far as the Equalizer. That's really all I've got.
Still a good movie, though.
Yeah, still a good movie.
You should still see it if you haven't seen it.
Yeah.
I mean,
you may like it way more than we did too. I mean.
Well, I enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it. I just
there were there were a few minor things about it that just didn't hold up to the original. Yeah. But other than that, it was a decent film. Yeah, decent action movie. But what else?
I don't know.
What do you think about this Joker movie coming out?
The Joker movie is going to be really good, I think. I hope. I should say I hope it's going to be really good. I'm just super excited for the new Star Wars.
Yeah, I am too.
That's what I'm really excited about. I hope they finally explain Rey's parents. I know they said they did that in the one video game, but I feel like that was kind of like a halfway explanation, you know?
What I'm hoping is... Here's the thing. I'm hoping that in this new Star Wars movie, they tie everything up and they don't leave any loose ends. But because of the Emperor coming back and because of the previews that I've seen, I really don't think they're gonna. I think it's gonna be left open. I could be wrong.
It's either gonna be left open, or it's gonna be a 6-hour movie to really tie it all up, because they've
got a lot to explain.
Loose ends that they have.
They've got a tremendous amount of subject matter. To explain, and it's I don't know if they can cram it into a 3-hour or 4-hour movie. You're right.
Or a 2-hour movie.
Or 2 hours.
4 hours is crazy.
Yeah, but I say that because The Dark Knight was like 4 hours.
The Dark Knight was so
and that long. A lot here seems like it's becoming the norm more and more, is that movies are getting longer and longer and longer. Pretty soon, you're going to just spend a week at a theater.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a week-long thing. And they're going to have cots set up. And it's just going to be like sleep as you need to.
You have to take time off work.
To see a film. Because they just keep getting longer and longer and longer. The Dark Knight was crazy long. Man, I watched that. I didn't see it in theaters.
I did.
A friend of mine told me, he said, don't see it in theaters. And I was like, why? And he was like, because my butt went numb.
Yeah.
From sitting
on the seat. I couldn't feel my legs.
So I missed it in theaters, but I bought it when it came out. And it took the whole day to watch this movie. Like, I started it.
Yeah, it took
pretty early, and then by the time I was finished, it was like, the day was over. I was like, wow, God, this is a really long movie.
I actually got in a lot of trouble for seeing that movie because I still had a curfew, and it was so long that in order to get home by my curfew, I would have had to leave in the middle of the movie. So I was texting my mom. I'm like, I'm still in the theater. I don't want to leave because, I spent money on this movie. And she was getting super mad at me. So to prove to her that I wasn't just out running amok, I'd actually send her video of the film.
But it was worth it.
It was worth it. And she didn't ground me. She just scolded me.
To me, for right now, though, too, Christian Bale will always be Batman until they find somebody better, which I don't think they're going to be able to do.
Probably not.
I didn't care for the Ben Affleck Batman, and I didn't care for the Michael Keaton Batman, and I didn't care for the Val Kilmer Batman or the George Clooney Batman.
No. There's been only one Batman.
Which is Christian Bale.
Yeah.
And I wish he would come back because he's just the best so far.
Yeah, definitely.
All of that good stuff. But hopefully they can find somebody that can play the Joker well. I still don't feel like they've nailed the character down in cinema. I feel like Heath Ledger was really great and the best Joker so far, but I still don't feel like they've nailed it down, and I was just not happy with what Jared Leto did with the Joker, because he made him a gangbanger, basically.
I don't think anybody was very pleased with that.
It's just basically a blood or crip.
Yeah.
In the movie.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. So anyway, give us your thoughts. Tell us what you thought. If you saw the movie, you can comment down in the comment section below. Give us a like for the video if you like the video, and please subscribe, and don't forget to tap the bell. We got more reviews coming your way and some cool movies coming up. Stay tuned. Don't want to miss out on those videos. Be looking for those. And until next time, peace.